court traps the Tamil Nadu government over maternity leave rule. This is a story of how bad decisions by a government can ultimately prove to be counterproductive. Now, on 13th of March 2026, recently, the Tamil Nadu government issued a government order, which is a GO, restricting maternity benefits for a third child to 12 weeks, rather than which is the norm, the standard of 12 months for earlier children. So, if I am a woman and having a third child, and if I am a government employee, I will only get 12 weeks. Look at it. Even as the Stalin government has been protesting vehemently against the delimitation exercise, citing political disadvantages for South Indian states in Lok Sabha, based purely on population, leading to the dilution of South Indian states' overall influence in federal polity, Stalin later slowly began exhorting couples to have more babies. Let me quote him here. These days, we don't wish anyone that they should be blessed with 16 kinds of wealth in life. We only bless people to live happily with a small family, but when we are faced with situations like a reduction in the number of parliament seats, we are made to think, why should we have small families? I will not tell you to not have children hastily, have children immediately. See the tune of it, and I'll tell you where the dichotomy is. It is a fact that Tamil Nadu made great strides when it came to controlling its population compared to several North Indian states. And in the context of delimitation, it can be seen to be unfair and draconian, and therefore the GO of March 2026. But then it's very puzzling. Now, in a latest development, the Madras High Court deemed the government order issued by state government restricting maternity leave for third pregnancy to 12 weeks as unjustifiable. Let me quote the bench here, which said as follows. This kind of restriction made by government is against the dictum of the Supreme Court as well as this court. The same cannot be approved by this court. For restricting the period to 12 weeks, absolutely there is no justification on the part of the government. Pregnancy may be first, second or third, but the suffering would be the same, and the pre-delivery as well as the post-delivery care that a mother needs to take is same in all such pregnancies. Therefore, no discrimination could be shown by the government in approving the maternity benefits, especially maternity leave for the third pregnancy to the employees. This kind of restriction made by the government by issuing a GO under the executive power vested on it under Article 162 of the Constitution and against the dictums laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court as well as this court cannot be approved by this court. The court also recalled the Supreme Court how it had categorically ruled women employees could not be denied maternity leave even during third confinement. Politics and policies aside, ladies and gentlemen, this is my right, a woman's right. And like I said at the beginning, the restriction by the Tamil Nadu government makes little logic, whatever be the context. Let's debate. We have Cynthia Stephen, very well-known social activist, and S.S. Sriram, senior political analyst. Thank you both for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you indeed. Sriram, what kind of a confusion is this? This is a khichdi. First you say, well, have more kids. He quotes a Tamil, saying, which I will not, but then have 16 kids. That's what my grandmothers used to be blessed, have 16 children. Then he says, don't have children hastily, but have it immediately. I don't know what's the difference between hastily and immediately, whatever that means. But then there is a GO saying a third child, 12 weeks only. I mean, what is going on? What kind of order is this? I'll talk to Cynthia about the right that we have in this. But this is just confusing and confounding to the core. Sriram.
Good evening to you, Sandhya ji, and to my fellow panelists. I mean, how insensitive one can be. And this is the same chief minister, I'm sure, when it comes to his family members, especially the women, he would like the best. And unfortunately, this gentleman forgets that there's other women who voted for him to be the chief minister. He doesn't care for them. So this is absolutely an insensitive, order. I don't know whether he really thought through or whether he was ill-advised, whatever be the case, but one should have thought on his own. So, and as you rightly pointed out, and they will be against delimitation, and now they will want, more population. Let them kindly think what they are talking. And this is exactly a well-deserved intervention by the courts. Every childbirth is a second life for the mother. It is not the first child or the second child. Every childbirth is a challenge. I'm sure he's also has got multiple siblings. If I'm not wrong, I think he has got about 4 or 5 siblings, and he should also know this more than anyone else knowing. Very sad, very insensitive is my opinion, Sudhaji.
Thank you, Sriram, for acknowledging that every childbirth, but the thing is that a big drama is made about women of those days. Oh, my grandmother gave birth to 12 children and then went to the farm and worked. Sorry, it doesn't work. I don't know, good for them, but it doesn't work. And also there were child marriages. We were not married at that young age. I'm coming to Cynthia. Cynthia, this is a right. Maternity leave is a right that all women have. Over the years, of course, the norms have changed, and for the better. In my time, it was 3 months, for the first one, the first child that I had. But over the years, I saw 6 months and 1 year. It is not just about being a mother, it's about a lot of other surrounding things. New mother, bringing up the child, your own body, where the uterus, according to many doctors, takes 1 year time to get back. What is this 12 weeks things? And you know what he said when he issued this government order? He says, not him particularly, but his government says 12 weeks because we want to control population. I mean, what does he want? He is wrong on every count. He is wrong on taking it away, the right of a woman. He is wrong when it comes to delimitation. He is wrong that today he will say don't have babies, tomorrow you have babies as if I am a machine, and like that I can have a baby. Cynthia.
Exactly. So, obviously this, I don't know who was doing the drafting and who was doing the advising, but definitely the necessary thought has not been applied to this GO, and I'm grateful to the court for having passed this order. But I also want to point out one more thing, and that is that Tamil Nadu is the first, is number one in female employment work participation rate. What are they talking about? Saying there's women get it on 2 or 3 sides of the stick. On the one hand, gender roles at home, and the other hand, economic activity in the workplace. And now the government places this huge hurdle and interferes in their personal life and about their childbirth. This is illogical and irrational and really to be condemned, and I'm very glad that such an order has been passed. Of course, this is not the only occasion or only situation where women's reproduction is targeted. In many states, the order still stands that people having more than 2 children cannot stand for public office or elected office.
Sure.
And then on the other hand, we have the same chief minister, as you pointed out, saying that we should have more children and a population. But the government, obviously, one part of the government, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing.
Exactly. Confounded, confused. And the target are we, my gender.
How can chief minister say have more children and government pass an order and say we want to control the population? Somewhere there's a huge crossed wires.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they were set straight by the courts.
Yeah, some Don Quixote, I'm sure, who did this, and also, of course, you brought it up about how the government gives incentives. Of course, first Chandrababu Naidu in the neighboring had taken away rights, but then he also said that, okay, you can fight for an MLC or an MLA election even if you have 3 kids. Again, delimitation is a problem there. Sriram, on the one hand, this Mr. Stalin keeps talking about, Magalir Tittam, he talks about how Thai and, how Thai Kulam, I will give you 8,000 coupons, I will give you 2,000 rupees, you take a grinder, you take a sari, you take a thali, you take gold, everything. And on the other hand, he talks like this. I mean, I just find, like, also Cynthia said, the Tamil Nadu women workforce is fantastic. You go to Foxconn, you go everywhere, they're there. Also, their enrollment, in schools is fantastic. As a state, we, Sriram, you and I, we're doing very well as a state. But then this comes, first of all, he also doesn't, there is another aspect he doesn't understand, Sriram. The point is, once I stopped having more than 1 child, because I did not have the support system, because I want to work, I want a career, maybe it's my choice. What is this diktat, have 3 kids, 4 kids, who is he, our grandfather?
I mean, when the central government says, learn 1 more language apart from Tamil and English, here comes that valor. They say, no, you are pushing Hindi. You are making us learn Hindi. You are making us do this. Now, the same government tells a woman, I will not give you leave more than 3 weeks for your third child. How hypocritical is this? How dictatorship is this? They're absolute shallow. They're exposed. when they want to do whatever they want to do, they have a justification. So this exactly got exposed, and I'm really shocked when I heard this, that they are being given only the third child only 4 weeks. I'm sure CM should have used
Sriram,
his own
12
thought.
weeks. Yeah.
12 weeks.
Huh.
I know. I wish CM could have used his own wisdom. Okay, being a father who's having a wife, has a daughter, is a granddaughter, he's got sister. I'm sure he must have used his own wisdom before even thinking to pass this, this order. I mean, as Madam rightly said, thanks for the intervention of the court, and I wish the court is not forced to do again something which these governments senselessly bring on women folk. Let this be a lesson for all the state governments in the country.
Also, Sriram, before I go to Cynthia, I want to, I just want to ask you this, that it's also because, when the menstruation leave in Karnataka, where the government said you can take menstruation leave for menstruation, some people protested. They said, what is this? Then in our office, at least 10 women will go off every month. There is also this fear that we women, there is always this tag. I mean, I have seen it attached to me that either I'm menstruating and taking leave, or I'm getting pregnant and vomiting everywhere, or I'm breastfeeding, so I'm no good at work. Don't you think it's a very biased kind of a thing? This kind of, okay, give her 12 weeks, let her come back to work. It stems from that. For me, it stems only from that. I have a problem, Sriram.
I mean, you are a problem to senseless people. You are a problem. People with sense, people with humane, people who understand that they have also been born through a woman will definitely not look at it that way. I mean, or you must make these men go through the menstrual cycle once a month, then they will probably realize how difficult it is every month to, see through those torrid time. I mean, these are all, one should, think from the other shoes, or at least they should think that, okay, they have been brought to this world. I'm talking about those women, those men who were against such privileges to women should think that they have come through that women to this world. So they are hypocrites. I mean, let's brush aside with them and let's be with our women folk. Their Nari Shakti is so damn important for the country's way forward, Sandhya ji.
Cynthia, let me come to you. Cynthia, the thing is that it's not easy. I've spoken to demographic experts about this. They said that, when women and families have made a decision, it's not going to happen in 5 minutes or a month that, okay, time for us to make another baby, because society, culturally, so far as society is concerned, as family units, they have moved forward. They have moved forward from point A, much like Japan, much like Taiwan. They've moved forward. For them to go back, this is not a magic wand, Cynthia Stephen, that these chief ministers, whether Mr. Naidu, who's 70 plus, Mr. Stalin, who's 70 plus, to say, why, what is so tough? It is tough. Don't you think? Because it is not just about reproduction, but it is also about a lot of other surrounding things, Cynthia Stephen.
Absolutely. See, the point is that how many children a woman has might be a very personal choice. But there are many factors which come into play in the decision. And often one of the big issues that we raise in the women's movement is the freedom, the autonomy for choosing one's partner, for choosing one's age at marriage, and also for choosing how many children we have. A lot of the time, women are forced into more than necessary marriages, childbirths, because they're always looking for another boy. So if they have one boy, they'll have a second boy. So I know families where there are 5 children with 4 girls in a row, and the last child is a boy because they kept on trying for boys. So this kind of gender bias that exists in the society is on the one hand, and on the other hand, the lack of autonomy that sometimes women are forced to endure about their child reproduction is another issue. So that is why now I think we have to be very balanced. Allow autonomy to the woman and the family to decide what they want. They can't be dictated.
Yeah, when you talk about autonomy, Cynthia Stephen, I think this 12 weeks is really, I think it's not well thought out. Someone was really sitting there confused, and I think Stalin, who keeps talking about, we empower women, I think he's made a blunder. And I hope you both agree with me that the court has done a great job, because whether it's my 5th child or my 6th child, I have my right as a government employee to 1 year of maternity leave and let Stalin deal with it.